I want to give you guys the 5 games to watch right now here in July of 2020. So guys, what we're going to be doing is each month, we're going to be doing the 5 games to watch each in particular month based on the games that are coming out each month. Typically, guys, there's a decent amount of games that get released, whether we're talking AAA titles or if we're just talking about more indie projects or games that are coming out as well. I want to go ahead and discuss with all of you the 5 games to kind of watch out for and check out, whether that be on Twitch, on YouTube, wherever it might be, guys. It might be some games that you'll want to watch before purchasing. So let's get into it. So starting off, guys, with number 1, we are talking Ghost of Tsushima. So this is a game, guys, that certainly is on my watch list here in July. Going ahead and going to be watching it. There's a good possibility I'm going to buy this game. I mean, there's a very high possibility just based on the graphics alone. This is, of course, coming from Sucker Punch, who are the guys who made the infamous franchise or the infamous games. And so I'm really excited to see this new project from them, Ghost of Tsushima. I'm wondering if this is going to be a fully fleshed out, franchise, or if this is just going to be, a single game. It'll be really interesting to say the least. But I'm very excited about Ghost of Tsushima. It's one of my most anticipated games, obviously, of the month. It was one of my most anticipated games of the year. And so absolutely am I interested in watching this. And for those of you, who haven't seen a lot or have seen some trailers or some game footage, you may want to watch some more when the game comes out if you're kind of on the fence whether or not you want to buy it or not. Coming in at number 2, guys, is Iron Man VR. I've talked about Iron Man VR a number of times now on the YouTube channel, and this is a game that I definitely think if you have not been watching, you should certainly start paying some attention to. This is a game that I've been considering to myself, actually potentially is going to convince me to buy a virtual reality headset. And when I look at games like Half-Life Alyx, that was a game that was very much so kind of swaying me to maybe get a VR headset. This game where you get to play as Iron Man, guys, I absolutely have thought about getting the VR headset just based on now Half-Life Alyx along with Iron Man VR. And there's going to be more and more games as time goes that are going to be available on VR that we'll definitely maybe want to pick up. And so it's kind of getting me to a point where I'm thinking maybe I should just dive in now and get the VR headset because I don't own one as of yet. But absolutely, you guys should just be keeping an eye on this. Even if you don't want to buy the VR headset, you just want to watch something pretty extraordinary. What they've done with Marvel's Iron Man VR looks like something pretty special. So I would just at least watch it and maybe, just maybe, it'll convince you to buy a VR headset as well. Coming in at number 3 for me, guys, is Rocket Arena. I've talked about this game a couple of times here on the channel. And Rocket Arena is certainly a game that you're going to want to watch because it's kind of like another one of those arena shooters with which we're getting more and more of those as we go, guys. Games like Diabolical and, obviously Valorant and, a number of different titles, right? Rocket Arena, though, kind of reminds me a little bit, takes, different things, kind of a kudos to Quake, kudos to Diabolical, Overwatch, and games like that. And it looks like just a fun-filled game, right? Kind of reminds me even a little bit of Fortnite, just with all rockets and rocket launchers. And it's just an interesting concept, and I'll be sure to, I kind of have thought about making more and more content around it. Definitely a game to watch, guys, at least for right now, before maybe diving into it yourself. But certainly an arena shooter to keep an eye on and kind of, if it's something that you want to start, playing and kind of diving into, I think you may be surprised just with like all the bright colors and just kind of everything that this game is going to pretty much be for as far as an arena shooter is concerned. If you're into those types of games, definitely watch Rocket Arena. Coming in, guys, at number 4 for me is F1 2020. So Formula One racing, guys, I really got into Formula One based on actually the Netflix series. And so I started kind of paying attention to it. And not only that, also started kind of getting into the games. And so F1, guys, if you're big into a racing game, this is one that you might want to try out or at least just watch, right? You may want to go back and play like, F1 2019 or one of the other additions to the franchise. but you very well might just want to start watching some streamers play it, or maybe watch some videos on YouTube, watch some gameplay out there. And if you're into racing games, I would highly recommend just looking and taking a look at F1 2020, and it may very well be the next racing game that you might want to pick up. So definitely keep an eye on that. And then last but not least, guys, coming in at number 5 for me is Skater XL, which is another game coming out later this month. And, you know, this was a game that got announced just, you know, like I think a day or two before, you know, Skate 4 was announced or confirmed that it was in development. And Skater XL, this is a game that reminds me, it looks kind of like Tony Hawk Pro Skater. It looks a little bit like Skate. And I like what they're kind of doing here. This is another one of those games that just looks like they're definitely taking, you know, certain things that probably worked in Skate as well as Tony Hawk, but they're also got their own kind of twist on it. And so I'm excited to at least watch this just to see, you know, because I'm on the fence whether or not I certainly want to buy it or not, but definitely want to watch this. And I would recommend, if you're big into Tony Hawk or the Skate games, I would highly recommend checking out Skater XL when it does release and just kind of watch it. And you might be surprised because it does look like, from a graphic standpoint, from a gameplay perspective, looks pretty cool. But that, guys, is the 5 games to watch here in July of 2020. Let me know, guys, what games you're going to be watching here this month. Let me know in the comment section down below. And for 5 games to watch, content and videos, stay here with Zero TV.